In the opening chapters of the book of Exodus, the ones we're reading this week in the Torah reading, we're introduced to Moshe, the great leader Moses, who was charged with taking the Jewish people out of Egypt and bring them to Mount Sinai. And the Torah and the Medrash share with us why he was chosen. The story goes like this. He was the shepherd of his father-in-law's flock, and one day he was out in the shepherding them, and one of the sheep runs off and is in danger. Moshe runs after it, tends to it, spends a considerable amount of time and effort to bring that one sheep back to the flock, back to the herd. And when God saw that, he said, "Yeah, he should be the leader of the Jewish people. Someone that cares for every individual sheep, he's my man." Later, when God's talking to him at the burning bush, Moshe is reluctant to take on this job, the mantle of leadership. He asks God, send someone else. And he says, at one point, he tells God, "I know what's going to happen. I'm going to come to Egypt. I'm going to tell the Jewish people that their time of redemption has arrived. We're leaving, get ready. They will not believe me." God got upset, and he punishes Moshe. He's afflicted with leprosy, because you don't talk that way about the Jewish people. What do you mean they won't believe? In fact, when he does come to Egypt later, and he tells the Jewish people that their time of redemption has arrived and they're going to be going out of Egypt, they in fact do believe him. And these are the lessons of leadership. First of all, you have to care for every individual member of whom you are leading. It's not just, I'm leading my congregation, I'm leading my people, I'm leading my family as a collective, as a group. Every individual must be at the top of your priority list. And the second thing is you have to believe in them. You see, the Torah doesn't tell us that Moshe was chosen because he was a great scholar, a great prophet. He had, this rabbi ordained him, and that great yeshiva produced this great prodigy, and so on. None of that counted. None of that was important. What was important, that he loved every single individual and he cared for them. And that ultimately the Jewish leader needs to believe and have faith in those he leads. I once heard a story of the great chief rabbi of the United Kingdom, Rabbi Jonathan Sacks. He says that in 1968, he was what we would call a lost soul. He was spiritually in the dark. He had questions. He wasn't sure. And he traveled to America to meet many great rabbis. And then he comes to meet the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe. And he's in his office speaking to him. And he's telling him, at the time he was a student in Cambridge. And the Rebbe asked him about himself and about what he's doing. And he was telling the Rebbe his questions, this, that, and the other. And then the Rebbe asked him, "What are you doing for Jewish life in Cambridge?" And Jonathan Sacks was stunned. He was shocked. He said, "I'm not doing anything for Jewish life in Cambridge. I don't see myself in that position. I'm not the rabbi there. I'm not a leader there. I'm just a student, busy with my own studies and my own, future." But he said that Rebbe was relentless. He said, "What are you doing?" And he went in a whole long conversation with him. He said that encounter changed his life. He said, here was a leader, a true leader that believed in me more than I believed in myself. He saw greatness in me where I didn't see it. And by the Rebbe, there was no, "Vehein lo ya'aminu li," they will not believe me. He believed in every one of us. And Moshe believes ultimately in every one of us, of course. That was the lesson that we all learned. That's the lesson we all learned from this portion. We don't care how much you know until we know how much you care. It's not what you know. It's about if you care and how much you care. And if you do care for every individual and you believe in your children and those whom you lead, you are a leader. You are the ultimate Jewish leader. So learn this lesson, internalize this lesson. This is crucial. Never give up on a Jew. Never give up on one of your children. Believe in their potential, and they will then believe in their own potential. You are the leader. They will follow if you lead properly. Love them individually, each one, and believe in them, and you will see success in your leadership. Good Shabbos, and have a wonderful week.